Beneath vast mountains, across open moorland, and alongside shimmering lochs, Scotland's railways travel a landscape like no other. From coastal towns to historic cities, trains bring passengers to some of Britain's most iconic landmarks. For the crews on board the trains,
if you do get a couple of minutes, it's good just to have a wee look out.
For the engineers safeguarding the track,
You're under no illusion. You get at the top of this thing, it's scary.
and for the volunteers keeping Scotland's steam heritage alive.
It's a unique thing. You know, it's not just, press the button and it goes.
It's part of the joy of working on the world's most beautiful railway. This time on the world's most beautiful railway. The world's most famous steam locomotive crosses Scotland's most famous bridge.
It's definitely not to be missed. We'll be raving about it for weeks, I'm sure.
We meet the men who keep Edinburgh's historic station shining.
The amount of work that goes into trying to prepare this station every day is a massive job for us.
And a slice of the Highlands comes to King's Cross.
In my heart, I'm just so proud to be Scottish.
Many of the 15 million visitors that visit Scotland each year start their journey at Edinburgh Waverley. Nestled in a valley between the medieval Old Town to the south and the Georgian architecture of the New Town to the north, the station sits in the heart of the spectacular city. Up to 1,000 trains arrive at Waverley's 20 platforms each day.
Platform 13, 40, 21, 50.
Pat Monaghan is the ScotRail duty station manager tasked with making sure this huge operation runs smoothly.
Only problem this morning is the 7:30 Aberdeen, which is a planned cancellation. Got a full cancellation starting in Dundee.
Today, they're planning for an exceptional arrival on platform 19.
Just a reminder that we've got the Flying Scotsman in this morning, arriving at 9:36, so we expect that to be pretty popular. We're going to have plenty of staff there.
That's great. Right.
Take it easy, Cecily.
Yeah, the Flying Scotsman arriving here this morning means that there'll be additional people, a special charter, and also train enthusiasts, anybody want to get a photograph of a selfie or a photograph of the train itself.
Here we go, that's us got the signal now.
Train dispatcher June Cassidy is especially keen to greet this historic locomotive.
I'm actually going to meet a friend who's bringing a wee boy in to see the Flying Scotsman. He's a mad enthusiast and he's only 4 years old. Hi! How are you? Look at you! You're so cute. Turn around, let me see you. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Designed by son of Edinburgh Sir Nigel Gresling, who is commemorated by a plaque here at Waverley, in the 1920s, the Flying Scotsman took just 8 hours to travel the 392 miles from London to this historic station.
Oh, Finlay, look at that. It's amazing. Huge wheels. Look at the size of the wheels. Look at that, Finlay.
In 1934, the Scotsman cemented its reputation as the first British locomotive to reach 100 miles an hour.
Oh, God bless you. What a tissue. Wave to Mum. Wave to Mum. If you're in a place like this and you can share it, especially with the wee ones, that's just put such a smile on their face, you know. Yes, wonderful. Black. There you go. Wow. How was that? Is that good? Is that really good? You have a wee bit of shake out. It was good fun, eh?
The Flying Scotsman has made a splash at Waverley, but now it's time to head off and ready itself for a day of special charter runs around the Fife Circle.
Bye. Right, my wee darling, I'll see you soon. You have a fabby day, okay? It's been a really good morning. This is going to make me smile all day.
The geology that sculpted Scotland's dramatic landscape has also shaped a unique industrial heritage. As engineers work to bore through mountains, cross valleys, and ford estuaries. The pinnacle of their achievements in the 19th century remains both an icon and an essential part of Scotland's transport infrastructure. The Forth Bridge.
It's quite a walk with a few hundred kilos of equipment. That's quite a walk. I haven't got a particularly nice day for it, but you put up with it.
Six times the length of the Eiffel Tower. The bridge was built on land in 3 sections and took 4,500 men 7 years to construct. 70 of them lost their lives during an era when working on the bridge was a perilous occupation.
In days gone by, they would quite happily climb all over the structure. No harnesses, no ropes, no nothing.
Today, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is an emblem of Scotland, and careful measures are taken to preserve its unique character, right down to the smallest details.
This structure is what is known as a thunderbox, and this is what the guys in past days used as their toilet. If you need to use the toilet, you climbed over the wind fence, down inside there, and what's inside there is a small board with a hole in the middle of it and the river beneath you. And that is a listed structure.
After major refurbishments were completed in 2011, a weatherproof coat of emulsion has put a stop to the world's most famous never-ending paint job. But a bridge 2,500 metres long still requires constant maintenance.
Be under no illusion, when you're at the top of this thing, it's scary, but it's what you find is it's not the height that gets you, it's the exposure.
Guys are preparing to do some abseiling over the side of this part of the bridge because we have some minor fractures that we need to find underneath us, and the only way we can locate them is to go over the side and take a look.
Working suspended on a rope 45 metres high and with trains thundering past, health and safety is a serious business.
We've got trains coming over here in both directions every 5 or 10 minutes during the week. It's a busy railway line. The driver will sound his horn, and we must acknowledge to let him know that we know he's coming. If we don't acknowledge him, he'll start braking the train, he'll start slowing down.
If there's any lanyards hanging off you, there's a good chance you can get something caught, especially if you've got stuff off you there as well. If this got caught, you would be going with a train. Your body would be in pieces.
We have a safety boat on call, and the safety boat is in place in the extremely remote possibility that somebody was to fall.
Life on the railway.
The thing with this job is seems like I've not got much to do, but it's quite... One thing you've got to do, you just got to get it right. As you can tell, you're up pretty high if you have a bad day at work. Someone's going to have a bad life.
Just show me. Sorted.
Edinburgh Waverley is one of the largest stations in the world, and keeping the building in peak condition is a constant battle.
The amount of work that goes into trying to prepare this station every day is a massive job for us. The roof itself is one of our biggest challenges to maintain. Each and every day the guys are up there doing a bit of litter picking, cleaning out any blockages in the drainage system. We're here to keep a beautiful station looking beautiful.
The size of 14 football pitches, the station roof is the third largest glazed structure in Britain and makes the most of the station's central location. But style comes at a cost, and it takes 30 man-hours a week to maintain it.
This is how we get to and from places. We use these wee runners. We clip them into the rail down here. Glass is man-safe. It should take the weight of a human. But if you did go through it, then you'd be hanging on your harness with this.
Refurbished at a cost of £130 million in 2012, the sloping glass funnels dirt and rubbish into 28 valleys, each of which has to be carefully cleaned.
You see the amount of beer cans we find. A full can of Guinness without even a drink. I'm not even tempted to open that and keep it for myself.
This is an area that we would class as one of our throw zones. We have a lot of people coming up here after a night out, had a few drinks. Things will start getting thrown over the wall.
Umbrellas there.
We've actually had quite a bit of underwear getting thrown over.
Even get the occasional bike from time to time.
Alongside the litter, Ewan Dalrymple and his team face another fierce adversary in their battle to keep Waverley beautiful. Pigeons. Last year, Waverley spent £60,000 trying to deter and clean up after these feathered foes.
These up here, these are the hawks. Try to scare off the pigeons. Their droppings come down on the glass and stuff, and it's filthy. These are a preventative measure. It works to an extent, but I think the pigeons get wise to it after a while.
The pigeons are a massive problem. So you used to get the guy who'd come in and he would have his rifle and he would be doing a pigeon cull. Now, that was stopped a couple of years ago, and we now have thousands of them that turn up on a daily basis.
Ewan and his team have employed every weapon against their unwelcome visitors.
We've installed a lot of spikes throughout the station. We've also installed netting and put specialised pigeon gel.
But they've been outwitted at every turn.
Pigeons are very, very clever.
And have the law on their side.
As soon as the pigeons start nesting, they are in control of the situation. If you look up in the top corner here, we cannot go near this nest until the baby has hatched. I heard that some other stations do have cats. I think if we were going to get a cat for this station, it's going to have to be a very big cat, a big hungry one.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
Okay, you look up. That's the one, son. That's the one.
Connecting Edinburgh and the southeast to the north of the country, the Forth Bridge is a vital part of Scotland's rail infrastructure.
Yeah, go on to X-ray 30.
Yeah, just let you know I've got absolutely destroyer over the side.
Today, a team of abseilers are checking on the condition of some of its 53,000 tonnes of steel.
The steel that we're looking at is 128 years old.
It's making a transfer over.
The bridge expands and contracts summer to winter. It has vibration going through it when trains go over it, so small fractures do appear. If they were left, the fracture would start to grow and we'd have a very expensive job on hands.
I could spot some fractures, but I think it's just fractures in the paint in the middle.
Costing £3 million to build in 1890, the bridge was a milestone in engineering and design. In 2011, a 10-year restoration project was completed at a cost of £130 million. And keeping up with small maintenance is an ongoing priority.
Yeah, that's the one up here, mate.
These fractures can be difficult to find, and there's quite a lot of work involved in putting one man over the side, so it's great news when we go over and straight away find it.
So you marked the area there then, yeah?
I've got it, mate.
Job's done?
Aye, that's it.
Cool. We couldn't have set the ropes up any better. The crack was actually exactly where the ropes were. So, yeah, perfect.
You can see here with this black line there, that's a fracture in the steel. So that's been identified by us now. And we mark up a position for access platform to do the repair.
Done well today. Time to get the stuff packed up, put it back in the hut. Time to go home.
The Flying Scotsman is scheduled for a series of tours around Fife and over the Forth Bridge. But first, it's making a pit stop at the Bo'ness and Kinneil Heritage Railway.
We're just prepping the engine just now for its mainline tour tomorrow. Just brightening it up and everything, giving it a good polish and making it stand out nicely. Such an iconic engine. It's a great piece of British machinery and it's a wonderful experience to be working on this. It's a dream come true.
The Scotsman is maintained and run by professionals from the engineering company that completed a £4 million refurbishment in 2016. Today, some volunteers from Bo'ness are adding to the manpower.
Just like tinkering with an old car, you know, it's always going to want stuff doing to it.
With 150 tonnes of train and fully loaded tender to bring to a halt, the Scotsman's cast iron brakes need to be in mint condition. And replacing the brake blocks is a regular task.
It's like if you take your car to a garage and they change your brake pads. Obviously it's a bit heavier and more involved. If you look at the brake blocks now, when I move this, you can see the brake blocks actually moving away from the wheel. Right, just like that pin. Just take that split pin out, knock that pin through, and the brake block will come down. Let me take that pin and put it in one of the new ones, make sure it fits. Engineering it at quite an advanced scale. The weight for the thing. And the age, it's 96 years old now, so there's things here that you couldn't just go and get off a shelf now. So. The old one, that's the new one we're going to fit. So you see how much is actually worn off it through obviously running. That pin fits in there. It doesn't fit in there, so we'll just make that a little bit bigger so it does.
Fortunately, Bo'ness has a workshop perfectly equipped for heavy engineering.
You
you could stand and file them, it's a lot easier with this than it is with the files.
Ooh, was that made for that, or was it made for that?
The Bowness and Kinneil Railway opened in 1981 and now welcomes over 60,000 visitors a year who can ride one of 5 restored steam locomotives.
I just need to go and check the water.
Some of the volunteers bring expertise from the era of steam on the main line, but they've been joined by a new crop of steam enthusiasts. One of the most dedicated is photographer and mother of 2, Jane Wright.
She's been on the go for quite some time down in these flights, really. And she comes up very high in my standard.
We're doing good. It's really good to be out with people like George because he has done it for real. You know, he did it as a job, and it's really good to learn from people like him.
Jane's been a railway enthusiast since the age of 14. She took a 15-year break from locos to concentrate on career and kids. But now she's back, getting her hands dirty. And the chance to help prepare the Scotsman is not to be missed.
These wheels are bigger than me. To be this close to something like this is amazing. You know, it really brings out the sense of scale of it. It's a monster of a thing. This feels very special. Yeah, it's lovely just to stand here. Yeah. I've got old engineering books on steam locomotives from, you know, the 40s and 50s, and I love sitting there on a Saturday night reading about these things. You know, nothing's made like this anymore. It's a real part of history, and I think when you're seeing something like this out on the line and you can see it working, you know, it's a unique thing. You know, it's not just, you know, press a button and it goes. To me, there's a real beauty in the mechanics of it, and it just gives you, when you're cleaning it and you're bringing it up nice and shiny, it just gives you, you know, a nice sort of sense of purpose and, you know, a bit of pleasure to see it all shiny. You just know that, you know, there's going to be someone out there tomorrow taking a photo of it, and it's just, you know, the sun's glinting off it, and yeah.
For me, it's seeing the, like, kids when I was young and I saw this for the first time, seeing them just be amazed by it is quite special.
The replacement brake block is ready. Fitting it is a job for Jack Johnson, one of the crew travelling with the Scotsman.
But all it is that cast iron block is pulled against that part of the wheel there, and that's what slows it down just by friction. The engine weighs near enough 150 tonnes, so the engine by itself takes a lot to stop. Some of the hours you end up doing over the years, if you weren't an enthusiast, you wouldn't do them. So, like tomorrow morning, for example, I'm going to get here at 5 o'clock. That means I've got to get up at least 4:30 on a Sunday morning. I don't think many people would do that for work, would they? It takes a lot of loving.
The Cairngorms National Park is home to Britain's highest mountain range. Cutting through these granite peaks is the Highland Main Line. A rail network linking the small towns and villages between Inverness and Perth.
The scenery is amazing. Trees and forests, river gorges, mountains, waterfalls.
What else could you wish for? It's absolutely stunning.
The next stop is Miracle.
Regular travellers are Sally Spavin and Kate Howie. Kate and Sally live in Pitlochry, a Victorian town at the southern end of the line, with a station dating back to 1863.
Isn't it beautiful today?
So glorious. That's our highest hill, Ben Brackie, the sparkling Ben of Pitlochry.
The hanging baskets are lovely this year, aren't they?
I hope they've been watered.
Together, Kate and Sally run the local community rail partnership, a group devoted to preserving the heritage of their local stations and making them a destination for visitors from across the globe.
All those towns on the line depend on tourism for their main income, so it's really important that those stations look good and are welcoming.
One of the things that we first wanted to achieve at Pitlochry Station was the refurbishment of the buildings and the bridge for the 150th anniversary, and we were quite successful.
It's one of the best bridges on the line now, which makes such a difference.
This year, Kate and Sally's hard work has been rewarded with a chance to promote their line at King's Cross Station. The pair are determined to show Londoners the best of the Highlands and have commissioned a local dressmaker to make sure they look the part.
Lovely. Feel very gracious in it.
It's very nice.
You happy, Janet?
Yes, it's nice. It's nice.
Yes.
The nice thing about this tartan, of course, it was chosen by the community. We made up 6 tartans and we put them up at the co-op and everybody voted, and this one got more votes than all the other tartans put together.
Isn't it great that we have our own tartan in our own town? Not many towns can say that.
The purple of the heather, gold is the autumn festival, and the green is the big tree country. The blue is the river, and the dark blue is the dam. And of course, it all represents really this beautiful place that everybody comes to visit.
The scenery is amazing. Just to go on that train journey through the Highlands and the Cairngorms is amazing. 150,000 passengers go through King's Cross every day, so that's an amazing opportunity to market our area to those folk.
Good. Okay. Right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Kate and Sally are hoping that their Pitlochry tartan outfits and their passion for the local train line will help them attract visitors at the King's Cross event, which they've dubbed the Highland Fling. 60 miles south in Edinburgh Waverley, it's starting to feel like summer.
It's very warm in the station today. It's lovely, not complaining, because we're always complaining of the cold. The cleaners up on the rooftop, I think they've got the best deal so far.
All right. You could be in worse places, eh? You could be in worse places, you get blue sky, you're up, you're getting a suntan.
The fresh air and views go some way to compensate for what it's fair to call a very big job.
I think if you thought about cleaning 27,000 windows, I think you gaff your head, I think. I think you gaff your nut.
John and the team clean station roofs all over Scotland, but Edinburgh presents the biggest challenge.
Glasgow Central Station is not so bad because the glass is kind of opaque, but here at Waverley, when you look down and you see everything, you know. A lot of things we cleaning, they think, nobody ever thinks about how a thing like this would be cleaned. They never look up. I think some people think maybe magic fairies come in at night time and cleaning the station up for everybody coming in the following day, you know. Nah, but it's all right. I suppose you would get tourists who'd pay a lot of money for a view like this.
The first Scottish railways were built to transport coal from the mines to the coast. But passenger lines soon caught on, and by 1900 nearly every Scottish town was linked by rail as steam trains crisscrossed the countryside. Keeping this heritage alive today is the Scottish Railway Preservation Society at Bo'ness, where old-handers pass down their knowledge of these engineering giants.
That's it. Perfect. Man, you're like an elephant here. You took a bit of line.
We're kind of at the stage now where we're just starting to get a little bit of pressure. So we're turn our hands to cleaning and everything else that needs doing.
Jane's been here since the crack of dawn to start the fire in time for it to build enough heat to create the steam pressure to power the engine. While she waits, there's plenty of other prep to get on with.
Fireman's job is the most physical. Can you... You've got to prep your engine, which means cleaning out the smoke box, cleaning out the firebox.
You all right, Jane?
Yeah, fine.
You want a hand or anything?
They're not too bad, actually. Right, Mark! It wasn't as bad as I expected. It's still a dirty job, though. It's all the ash that's built up underneath the fire, basically. We're just clearing it away. If you keep it nice and clean, then the air's got a better chance of flowing through the grate.
After a morning of hard labour, Jane likes to be fresh-faced for the ride ahead.
I like to try and look smart on the footplate. Put my lippy on. Lipstick matches my hair. This is my hat. It's got a few more adventures in it yet.
It's been an arduous 2 hours prepping the engine, so it's time for Jane to refuel.
I'm breaking with tradition because these are not meat. They're made out of mushroom. But a proper fireman's breakfast still has to be done. Taste fantastic. There's nothing quite like breakfast off a shovel. These are big ovens, essentially, so you may as well make the most of the heat that you've got. I think they're about done.
With 60,000 visitors each year, the Bowness Railway is breathing new life into Scotland's steam heritage, thanks to the skills of volunteers like Jane.
But it's not just about shoveling coal. You've got to do all the uncoupling and coupling, changing points. So you are literally on the go all of the time. There's not, a moment where you're sort of sat doing nothing.
Here we go.
Jane, driver George and trainee Mark are taking number 19, a loco from the 1950s, down the 5 miles of track to Manwell Station.
You get good firemen and you get bad firemen. And then you get firemen that don't know what they're doing. And Jane, she's fine. No problem whatsoever.
Oh, you look after that young man?
Ultimately, I guess everybody wants to become a driver, but I think for me, for the time being, I just want to be a fireman. I think the fireman has the fun job. My dad's an engineer. His dad was a boilermaker, so I guess for me, it's almost in the blood.
It's been a long 8-hour day for Jane, but with a train full of happy customers and more valuable experience under her belt, it's all been worthwhile.
This was my first fire intern with George. I feel like it went really well. I'd like to think it went well anyway. I'm tired, but in a good way. A big smile on my face. Certainly not as clean as it was this morning.
Are those got bottoms in? You're doing a grand job.
In London, Kate and Sally from the Highland Line Community Rail Partnership are packing 2,500 goodie bags in preparation for their Highland Fling promotional event at King's Cross Station.
When I was in the army, I had staff who did this.
I'm not one of your soldiers.
Listen, the first 2 lots of bags I did, I forgot to put the map in. Can you imagine the telling off I've got for that?
The pair are hoping their goodie bags will tempt some of the 110,000 daily visitors to King's Cross to make the trip north and discover the beauty of their beloved Highland mainline.
Our hopes are that the 2,500 goodie bags are going quite quickly and that people just come and engage with us and interact with us, you know. We're up against the clock now.
We've got 1,000 to go.
Keen to draw as much attention as possible to their Highland mainline, Sally and Kate have brought a unique slice of local life from Blair Athol. The Athol Highlanders are Europe's last surviving private army and are inspected each May during a Highland gathering at the Duke of Athol's fairy tale castle.
We were raised in 1777 to fight in the American Wars of Independence. Today we're purely ceremonial and come to Blair Castle and you'll see us, parade, you'll see the men parade, and you'll see 100 of us dressed like this.
Graham and his men are happy to share their passion for a part of the world they care deeply about.
A lot of people, they don't know about lovely Scotland. They don't know that you can get on one train.
Put it on your left shoulder.
Go all the way up to Inverness. No changes, no traffic jams, just up that lovely rail line.
This is now the cross belt.
The Highland Main Line rail line.
Got £1 for every one of these I put on.
I think we've had an amazing start to the morning. They're quite small rural communities up in the Cairngorms and they're very, very dependent on tourism. So what we wanted to do was to come down to London today and let people see what a fantastic part of the country our Community Rail Partnership covers.
They were terrific. And look at that saltire. In my heart, I'm just so proud to be Scottish.
Fantastic crowd, beautiful weather, and the saltire. What more can I want? So I think there'll be a few drams tonight.
Oh, a bit of fitness there.
I don't think there's ever been anything quite like it at King's Cross Station before.
Duthie was playing a bit slow.
Was he?
Yes.
Was
Speed
he?
it up the next time.
Oh God, you're ambitious.
Yes,
you're ambitious.
yes. That was,
I think you've got it in you for a
that was the
second.
funeral pace.
Thank you very much, thank you.
The goodie bags are going like snow off a dike.
Kate, Sally and the Athol Highlanders are confident that today's effort will have spread the word that their patch of the Highlands is one of the most scenic parts of the country.
See if I can get you just to go back a half a step.
And best viewed from the comfort of a train.
Where have you been? All right, we'll do it again.
Thank you.
Oh, I've only spoken to 781 before.
Oh, what the heck have you been doing all this?
After its pit stop at Bo'ness, the Flying Scotsman is taken to the rails. And at Inverkeithing Station, this legendary locomotive is being eagerly anticipated.
I've always had a passion for steam trains. I like anything that has a piston on it. I know that sounds silly, but I just love them.
Everybody's heard of the Flying Scotsman. It's famous all over the world.
I'm particularly looking forward to going over the Forth Railway Bridge. It's a spectacular bridge, so yeah, that makes it even more special.
Getting this iconic train ready for its tour of Fife has been a labour of love.
It's challenging this morning. 5:30 started bringing the fire around, getting it ready for today. And then I was the fireman from 8:30 all the way to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that involves a lot of coal shoveling and that. You don't really see a lot of the scenery because you're firing most of the time, but we come through one station one where and there's families and everything, and they're all like, wow, and that gives you goosebumps. That was quite nice.
I remember as a young kid being sat on my dad's shoulders watching it come in, and it's weird now to now be working on it. It brings back a lot of nice memories.
On today's special charter along the Fife coast and across to Stirling, the Flying Scotsman is giving its 200 passengers a taste of train travel from a bygone era of steam. One of today's passengers has a very special reason for taking her seat on the Scotsman.
The reason I'm here actually is because my father drove the Flying Scotsman. He retired after 38 years. I have a photograph here when he was selected to be the driver to take the non-stop from Edinburgh down to London. 1948. They tried to get me to go on the footplate and I was too timid. And I've always regretted not having actually been on the footplate when my father was there. So I'm very grateful to be here. It takes me back.
It's done quite a few things in its life. You know, it's been to America, it's been to Australia. It was the first engine ever to officially do 100 mile an hour. It's ticked a lot of things in its life, and it's still, you know, still alive and kicking. And like today, you know, we've got 10 or 11 coaches behind us, all full of people, all paid money to come and ride behind it. So obviously, the nation wants to see it run everywhere.
The Scotsman is making 3 loops of Fife today, following the picturesque coastal line north before heading inland to Stirling on its way back home. And the highlight of each trip, a majestic journey across the Forth Bridge.
It's definitely not to be missed, or we'll just be raving about it for weeks, I'm sure.
It's great taking the engine over the Forth Bridge. It means a bit more on that engine because, you know, doing that's quite iconic. That's the first time I've done it with that engine, so it'll stick with me for a little while.
As the day draws to an end, the footplate lights up the evening. Travelling back across the Forth Bridge at night is a final highlight for the tired crew.
The amount of joy it brings to people, that's it in a nutshell. It's all engineering marvels, if you like. There's nothing else like this, really.
Oh, she's beautiful. She really is.
It's been a very long day today. You know, we're all a bit tired now. I think engine is as well. She wants a bed.